Welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be discussing why landing a software development or software engineering job can be so challenging. Whether you studied computer science in school, taught yourself to code, or attended the coding bootcamp, there are various obstacles you might face. In this video, we'll explore some common reasons why it may seem difficult to secure a job in this field despite being in demand. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the US labor market will add 316,000 software developer jobs over the next 10 years, which is a remarkable 22% growth rate, averaging around 31,000 new jobs annually. This statistic is truly staggering, as there are very few jobs experiencing such high demand and growth. Repeatedly, you come across articles that emphasize how much software development and software engineering are in demand. However, you also hear from people in the industry that it was challenging to land a job, especially the first one. It's baffling how both statements can be accurate. One of the main reasons why getting a job as a software developer or software engineer can be challenging could be that software is very diverse. Companies typically seek specific skills to fill their needs. For instance, if you're a front-end developer, but most companies require back-end developers, it's going to be an obstacle. Companies are less likely to hire someone who lacks experience in the specific area they're looking for, even if they have other experience. Of course, there are exceptions, but typically, they'll keep searching for a candidate who is a better match for the position. There are some companies that are willing to invest in individuals and train them on their technologies, seeing the benefit of hiring someone who is more junior or lacks experience with the technologies they use. The advantage in doing so is that these individuals can be trained in a way that avoids any bad habits and enables them to learn how to structure code and use technology in the way that works best for the company. Another reason why it is difficult to land a job is that technical interviews are structured to find the best candidate possible. The problem with this approach is that it has some flaws. For instance, even the most talented programmers can get nervous and stumble during these interviews. This affects their decision and might not lead to hiring the best possible candidate for the position. As a result, technical interviews can be seen as a game in their own way, and even the best candidates can fail. The technical interview process has improved, but it still has a long way to go. Whether you enjoy technical interviews or not, majority of the time, the problems you solve during an interview don't necessarily reflect real-world scenarios. The point is to demonstrate your thinking process, logical skills, and communication skills. However, some companies take it too seriously and only focus on whether you can solve a particular problem. This approach might not be ideal because it overlooks the essential skills required for the job. Although these types of companies are rare, they do exist. Another common issue with technical interviews, particularly coding interviews, is that you can usually use whatever programming language you're most comfortable with. That's definitely a plus. However, if the interviewer is not familiar with the language you're using, it can create a barrier between you and them. Even though they may be technically knowledgeable, they might prefer someone who uses a language they are familiar with. There are typically at least 3 different interview steps or different interviews to land a job. And throughout these different interviews, you are talking to so many people that your resume can get kind of lost between the cracks. Or even if you are the best candidate, sometimes this can go missed. A lot of times too, if you are applying to a company and there are other applicants who may have some ties within the company, that can sometimes cause some gray areas as well. If the other candidates are referred, a lot of times companies will go with referrals because they know that if it's referred by a great employee, they're hoping that this referral will be great as well. The real question is not, why is it so challenging to land your first job as a software developer or engineer? But how can we improve? It's a complicated and multifaceted issue that's challenging to tackle. However, one way to approach it is to persist in the job search and accept feedback, especially if you're not receiving any. You may even consider asking the interviewer for feedback if they chose someone else. Understanding why they made their decision could help you improve or reveal that the process was the problem, and they had different reasons for choosing another candidate. Perhaps you'll get lucky and land your first software developer or engineering job quickly. The good thing is that more often than not, once you land your first job, recruiters start reaching out to you left and right, so don't lose hope. Difficulty landing a job is typical, mainly at the start of your career. It may continue throughout your career for various reasons, but right now, the market needs excellent quality developers and engineers. Companies aren't searching for developers to merely code. They're seeking top-notch developers with excellent coding skills, communication abilities, teamwork, and more. We hope this sheds some light on why landing a job as a software developer or engineer can be challenging. Despite the high demand for these roles, it's simply part of the process, and it's normal to experience both successes and setbacks. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope it has been helpful for those of you who are struggling to find a job. If you need more guidance, be sure to check out our video on how to make a great first impression in your job interview for valuable tips to ace your interviews. Feel free to leave any questions or suggestions for future video topics in the comments, and we'll be back soon with more content.